Welcome, Shannon with Pick and Boost Vintage, and I thank you for joining me today. A few quick announcements. We are having our holiday open house on Thursday night. It starts at 5 and will run to 8 o'clock. As far as I know, Etta, the storm should hopefully avoid us by Thursday, and we should be ready to rock and roll Thursday night. If you see behind me my little elf, for those of you that have attended before, we have these cute little elves in every vendor booth. And if you find one, you get the door prize associated with that elf. So make sure when you come Thursday night, you get a little elf so you get a door prize. Isn't he cute? Okay, let me put him back up there. Oh, okay, he's taking a nap. Okay, so again, our open house is Thursday, so we'll be closed all Thursday during the day to get set up, and then Thursday night from 5 to 8 p.m. we will have Santa, snacks, sales, adult beverages, etc. So that'll be Thursday night. Also coming up November 28th on Small Business Saturday, we have an outdoor market out in our grass area in the back. We'll have about 18 different vendors with lots of fun items for you guys. So let's get started with what I have scheduled for today. How many of you have old signs that you don't use anymore? Maybe they're outdated, they're not the right color. So that's what we're going to talk about today. Like I have this sign here. I don't even know where it came from, but this sign is just not something that I would hang in my house. But you just, anything like this, you can just paint over and we'll make a new sign. So today what I have is I have this board right here. Let me move this. This was an old sign, and I think it said joy or something like that on there. Well, I decided to I painted it with just chalk paint. If you use just chalk paint and don't seal it, it will become a chalkboard, and it can be done in any chalk paint color. So I chose black. So we're gonna have a little fun with this today. I've got all different kinds of products that we're going to mix and mingle into this project. So first, this is a pine tree. This is from the Iron Orchid Designs Winter Wonderland pack, or Woodlands pack, sorry. These trees are beautiful. Unfortunately, there was only a limited number of packs and they sold pretty quick. Let me show you one of the things that I made. Look how cute he is. He was the deer that came in the pack. I'm gonna put a bunch of greenery in there and then, but this guy's coming home to live with me. Anyway, so I placed my transfer right on my chalkboard. And now I'm just gonna give it a nice rub with the stick that it comes with. And applying some pressure because you wanna make sure it comes off. It's a good workout. A trick to these transfers is once you can get one part started to adhere to your project, if you kind of, hold on, I'm just trying to grab it. Pick it up and rub as you're picking up, it releases it right to the board. Let me see if you can see that better. So I'm kind of picking up and rubbing, and then what it'll do is it'll release it. Okay, I'm gonna put that down because it's a little awkward. And there's one little part that's, there we go, rub it on. You just want to make sure you give it a nice rub. Sometimes these sticks might bend a little. Sometimes I'll use the back of a spoon. That works also. And these transfers come in all different patterns. As a matter of fact, do I have one here? Yeah, I have one here. Let me just show you. I just used this on a beautiful armoire that I was painting. I had it blended and this transfer came in. And now they're in booklets, so They come in sheets rather than a roll, so they're really easy to use. I have a whole bunch of them in stock now. I'll post pictures of all the different ones in the books that I have. Okay, let's see. Make sure I got it all up. Ah! It's kind of sticking. One little piece of the tree. Ah, there we go. And I'm just gonna make sure it's on there. Now look, I love this tree. I love these trees. Reminds me of the trip we just took. Okay, so now, look what I'm gonna add. This little guy is so handsome. See this guy? He's a little gnome, and he's from Would You Bend. So what we're gonna do now is we're going to apply this Would You Bend. If you haven't heard about Would You Bend, these things are amazing. Right now, see, he's hard as a rock. But once you apply heat to him, he'll become bendy, and you can put him anywhere you want. They come in flowers, they come in trim, so I can actually heat it up and put trim around here if I wanted. There's so much that you can do. Let me just show you how this works. Last time I used my heat gun, I left myself a burn, and I have a scar, so I'm going to try not to do that today. Okay, so I'm just going to set it on the table so I don't burn my hands. And I'm going to heat him up. And then once he's heated, he'll become pliable. And I'm just going to take some regular old wood glue and glue him onto my project. Now the little gnome, he's a little bit thicker than some of them, so he takes a little bit longer to heat up, but see now look, he's bendable. And the reason why you want to heat him up is because you want to make sure that he is flat and he can fit nice and smoothly and flat against your surface. So I'm just applying some wood glue to the back of the gnome, giving it a once over, and then I'm going to put him right next to the tree. And I'm going to stick him on, and I'm just going to heat him up just a little bit, just to make sure he is on this board. Okay, so let's see. This is what he looks like. This is what it looks like right now. How cute, right? Okay, now we're going to have some more fun. Before I show you what else we're going to do, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to paint this little guy real quick. And let me get my brush. Let's start with, ooh, that one's not going to work. I'm going to start with his beard. And let's go this way. Just taking a little brush, and I'm going to paint his, hold on, let me get my glasses so I can see. All right. Oh my gosh, he's so cute. Last year we had a class painting gnomes on big cutout boards of plywood. I think they were 4 feet tall. We do have one class coming up. I don't know exactly the date, but we do have one gnome class coming up. So I think there's still about 5 seats left. So if you're interested, you can call the store or you can go to our Facebook page and you can sign up through the link. All of our classes are under the events tab on our Facebook page. Okay, so I'm also going to paint his little gloves white. So see, he's coming together. Now, of course, because it's Christmas time, we're going to have to go with red for his outfit. And I am just using the Dixie Belle chalk paint. Goes on super easy. I'm not going to get that close to the edges just because that's going to take a lot of time. I'll just do that off camera where I can spend a little bit more time. But see how cute? All right, now let me get his little coat or dress or whatever you want to call it. Kind of looks like Santa. Oops. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to just put a little bit of gray in his beard, a couple lines of gray. Mix in some gray. Just for some shadow. See? How cute is that? All right. Now, like I said earlier, we're going to turn this into a sign. Does anybody have any guesses about what this sign might read? If you do, write in the comments. What do you think I'm going to put on the sign? All right, you know what? I need to paint his nose. Let's just go ahead and paint his nose gray. There we go. And you know what? I think he needs some polka dots for his hat. So I'm just going to go poke, poke. To do the polka dots, I just use the other end of the paintbrush and dip it in the paint and then put it on his hat. Ta-da! Can you see that? All right. So now comes some more really cool stuff. So IOD has these new stamps. Look at this one. They're outlined, and so you can color the inside. And this one is called Retro. And then they also have this one, which is called Farmhand. Look at this. So we're going to use these stamps on our sign. Any guesses yet? Oh, yep. Gnome for the holidays. We have a winner. Exactly. Now, these stamps are so easy to use. And I'm going to show you really quick how to do that. Well, not really quick because I want to make sure it comes out cute. What you do is you pull off the letters you're going to need. So I'm starting with the Retro. I'm going to grab the G. And I'm going to put it on my sign where I want it to go and line them up. So G and then N. Gosh, I hope I spelled this right. Sometimes when you're on camera or you're thinking too much, you overlook the easy stuff. N-O. Okay, where's the O? Here's the O. Now, this is the first time I'm using this stamp because they are fairly new. Whenever you open up a new pack of the IOD stamps, you want to give them a light sanding so they take the paint when you go to put the paint on. And you can use chalk paint, you can use, IOD has ink, but let me show you what we're going to be using. It's something that's really fun. I'm still lining these up. Now I just need the E. And they're sticky. Make sure I put that right. Oops. Okay, so they're on my, see my board? Now, IOD has something called thin mounts. It's this piece of plastic which is worth every penny. These are amazing because you simply just take your scissors and you cut off how much you think you're going to need. I know some of you have seen signs and you're wondering, well, how on earth you get it to be so straight? Well, you lay it out, then you take your thin mount, and because I put my letters upside down, the sticky side, which sticks to where they came off of, it'll stick right here. So watch, I'm going to set this down. Oops. Well, I just accidentally moved the G. Ah! I give it a little pressure, and look, when I pick it up, I have my whole word and it's straight. How amazing is that? That's why these thin mounts are so awesome. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this sign up here just for a minute. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take, they have this IOD or Iron Orchid Designs, has erasable liquid chalk. This stuff is amazing. So I'm going to put a little bit out here on this paper. Okay, so it's, oh, that came out fast. And I'm going to use my brayer. And I'm just going to roll my brayer and get some of the erasable chalk on there. And then I'm going to simply roll it over my words. I'm trying to do that where I can show you. Okay, so you just roll it on top of your letters. I'm going to put this down now so I can get a nice coat on here. You don't want too much where when you put your letters down, they become smudged. Get off my stick. So now I have my word ready to go, and I'm just going to sit it down on my sign, try to center it as best as possible. Once I lay it down, I'm not going to move it. I'm just going to give it a little pressure where the letters touch the board. I want to make sure that the ink is transformed onto my board. Oops, my phone's ringing. Just ignore that. Uh-oh. Now we get a message. Okay, so as Sally and the sisters do that, they use their fingers and they just rub it on like this. So let's pick it up and I'll show you. Yeah! Oh my gosh, I love it. Look at that. There we go. Now, and this is easy cleanup too. All you do is leave it on this thin mount, take it over to the sink, scrub it down, let it dry, peel them back off, and then stick them back where they go on their home. Okay, so now I need to do holidays, and again, I'm going to use the, what was this one called? Farmhand letters. I'm going to get holidays, and I'm going to lay it across here. H. And this is a very thin font, so I'm hoping it should fit just fine because it's not quite as big as the top. H-O L I D. Yes, I know how to spell. D. And I'm just simply peeling them off and laying them face down so I can pick them up with my thin mounts. A. Y. And all these supplies that I am using today, all the stamps, the ink, erasable chalk, I do have here in the store. And then S. And I even have the thin mounts too. Oh boy, let me see. How does this one go? So now I have holidays written and laid out on my sign where I want it to go. I'm going to make sure it's straight because once I lay my thin mount down, the letters will be in their spot. Where did I put the extra thin mount that I just cut? It's clear, so I can't see it. So where did I put it? Give me just 1 second. Oh, here it is. Nope, that's not it. Yep. This is from a piece I was using earlier. So let's see, will that fit? Yep, it'll fit. So I'm just going to cut a piece that is wide enough to fit my stamps for the word holidays. So again, thin mount. This has a little bit of ink on it because the erasable chalk ink is dripping down my table. So I'm just going to wipe this off really quick. All right, here's my thin mount. I'm going to stick it down and pick up the word holidays. Oops. Give it a nice rub, and look, I pick it up, and my holidays is perfect. Now I'm going to use my brayer and my erasable chalk, and I'm going to rub the word holidays with my brayer, making sure I just have a nice thin coat. I don't want to use too much because I don't want it to smear on my new sign. So if you're watching this and you have a crafty friend that might enjoy a craft like this, share with them, or you can tag them. If you happen to be watching this at a later time, if you're watching the replay, please hashtag replay and let me know what you think. Okay, so now I'm going to stick it down on my board. I'm going to put it right here. And I'm just going to lightly go over all the letters. I'm not pushing too hard. I'm just running my fingers very lightly over it. Making sure I Okay, now I'm gonna pick it up. Yay. Okay, put that over here and look. So here we have it. Now, of course, we're just missing something right here, but I figured with chalk I could just fill that in. And I will write for Gnome for the holidays. Now, how cute is this little sign? This was once a sign that was old and outdated and ugly, but now a little bit of chalk paint, black, some fun stencils, and a wood you bend, and look what we just created. Now, you can actually paint in here if you want, or if you want to have some fun, you can take your chalk and you can make stripes. You can do polka dots or whatever you want to do. The cool thing about using the erasable chalk is it's just that, it's erasable. So in a year or two, when you no longer like gnomes, you can erase this whole chalkboard and write something new, like Winter Wonderland. You know, maybe pop the alpha or the gnome off if you want, but of course leave the tree. Anyway, so this is just an idea of what you can do with a sign that you no longer like. And just another small tip is if you ever go to the store and you see a bunch of signs that are on clearance because maybe the saying is outdated or it's the day after Thanksgiving and thankful you don't need that anymore till next year, and the signs are always really cheap, like 75% off, buy them and paint over them. It's a great time to buy. Consider it a blank, because if you just throw some black chalk paint on it, you can do whatever you want. Okay, I just want to say thank you so much for joining me. I do put all my videos generally on YouTube. You can follow me on YouTube. It's Pick and Booth Vintage, and hope to see you at our Christmas open house. Don't forget to find these little guys. Every booth will have one, and on their back will be a number, and that correlates with the door prize you win from that vendor. All right, if anything changes and edit does come towards us, we will be rescheduling till next Thursday, but as of right now, we are still on for 2 days from now, Thursday the 12th, 5 to 8 p.m. Okay, we'll see you soon, guys. Take care.